Now, I do apologize how long this took to do this review because life sort of interrupt the things I'm trying and want to do now words. But other than that, today we're going to talk about Pieces of Putter episode 0. And that's sort of kind of weird because the first episode was the pilot, sort of introduced all the conflict of Potter, why she was sort of stuck in summer. Her made me follow out her friend. We didn't know why she sort of fought with Megan and tried to restart her life again with a new year, new school, new people. At least that's what we thought of episode 2. But we didn't, because today we got episode 0. And what is episode 0? Well, episode 0 is all about Megan and how basically Potter sort of broke out of their own friendship. And that's sort of kind of unique because how the whole show is always pitched. Sometimes friends sort of fall out for sometimes for no reason. Sometimes you just went in completely different directions. And this is sort of how they took it of that sort of idea. Now, before I continue on, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, the reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going, you like to help my channel, put a like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's fine. If you do, thank you. Because of you, I'm getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And thanks to all the people who put like, comment, and share. Thanks. Now let's get started of Pieces of Putter episode 0. Now, to be honest, I wasn't expect episode 0 to be a backwards episode to the main first episode. I was expecting episode 2 and sort of showing more of the development of the characters. But no, they decided to actually show you what actually happened in the past of Potter and how she got her nickname, the fallout, and what her sort of relationship was with Megan, at least a little bit. But I have to admit, I was sort of completely satisfied and sort of interested the reason why, because how they say sort of the pitch of what is this in the web series really is sort of sometimes people lose interest or they just move on for some apparent reason, and they use that quite literally in this episode 0 because we find out Potter's name because we're given to Megan, her best friend, who saw her sort of eating sort of chocolate, but not stop eating chocolate. But beginning very end, the only thing that's left is Potter, and she does like the taste of this sort of Potter, and that's why her got her name. But her nickname that is sort of more special to Potter because this is the nickname given to her best friend, Megan. It has meaning. It has this moment, that sort of bond moment of you will always remember why we are good friends. And I think I understand why Potter feels broken, feels betrayed because what happens next? Because Megan sort of lost interest. That's it. That's what I met at the very beginning. He just quite literally took the phrasing of the sentence or the explanation of this web series. It's just things happen that you don't have an explanation because you don't. We don't really understand why Megan sort of decided to ignore Bessie Potter. In fact, the only thing you have to sort of kind of reinterpret Megan's sort of basically her opinion, the things she does that basically we just see her in Bessie cafeteria talking to her friends, making sort of plans to go out to see a movie, and Potter wants to basically join in because it's her best friend. But the more basically Potter tries to insert herself in her friends doing that sort of kind of fun out night and watching a movie, Megan keep pushing, more ignoring her, more changing her plans, more trying to give her sign to say, I'm not interested of you anymore. I don't want to be friends anymore. In a way, it really says that when she trying to be sort of washy now, where it's like she doesn't care about her anymore. We don't know why. Maybe we assume she thinks that Potter is basically too childish for her. She's more mature for her. We don't really know. But during this sort of stage of her age, I do believe she is more basically doesn't care anymore. Something about her just lost complete interest of their relationship and friendship, that she avoids at all costs, or trying to be sort of the mean girl who not really says what she says downwards. And I think that's sort of part of the worst thing you can do with another person, especially Potter, that Potter doesn't really get the sort of situation. And this is the thing what Potter should sort of kind of hicked up downwards, because she doesn't know how to react to this in first, till they actually went to that Pacific day to wait for her friends to go in the theaters. But when Potter waited outside in the park waiting for Bestie Maggie and her friends, she never really called her back saying rescheduling. And that just sort of hurts really bad. You just feel the pain of Potter. Like, what the F? I mean, come on. You don't have least of the common courtesy just to say, hey, we're not gonna visit this specific time right now. We're doing later onwards. No, she just didn't care. She didn't call her. In fact, Potter kind of affronts Megan asking why, and she sort of not blow up, but being sort of a mean girl, sort of kind of stereotype, saying, "I'm basically beyond you. I lost interest, and goodbye. You're not taking the basically the signs she giving out." In a way, I think this could be reality. This was actually happening in real life onwards. But god damn, that just hurt. I mean, I have no investment of this relationship, but you felt that. Like, what's wrong with you? But even that, you kind of get what Potter sort of hurt so much about what her friend did to her. Made her wait for, I think, a couple of hours, just waiting for her to see what happens, being lost, don't know what's going on, and she just dissed her right in front of her face. No wonder she's having a very disconnected emotion moment all that summer, that she didn't want to get out of her own room. She's just dealing, basically, kind of, I'm 100% sure she was sort of trying to remember what she did wrong doing on this summer, because let's face it, you just wanted to stay in the bed, do nothing, or play video games to ignore your own emotions or whatever happened to you. You 100% sure she sort of recycled her memories over and over again, trying to understand what she did wrong. What was the moment that Bestie Megan decided this is over? Let's face it, everybody will probably do that sort of shape and form of that sort of situation. And you just feel for about it. You feel her sadness so well. Even that you want to say is sort of a little exaggeration, but no, it feels just right, because it makes sense, especially how her mom of Potter trying to uplift her, trying to understand what's wrong with her daughter. You have to applaud the mom of Miss Potter, because she tries to understand her daughter, try to motivate her to move on, to do something. Even that 100% sure she doesn't know what's going on, because how Potter very vaguely avoids answering the question, why not hang out with your friends or invite them or do something with them, not realizing she making worse the situation. Because let's face it, you don't want to talk to no one, especially your parents, that what happened to you, how your best friend dissed you a very awful way. I'd probably be the same thing, just I didn't want to talk to no one, or none of my parents or anyone that I trust, for at least for a little while. But I like how this episode introduced the sort of kind of scenario. Like, you don't know what she did, but you do know how she feels. And the reason what happened the next following episode, how she sort of struggles, how she panicking, how she wants to make a new friend and make it work, but she doesn't want to be a bothersome. This is the reason why she always holds back of episode 1 or the pilot episode, because she doesn't want kind of retread the same mistake that she assumed she did, but honestly, we don't know she did anything wrong, just being herself. And that is just sort of interesting because let's face it, emotions, relationships, and sort of complicated. It doesn't matter how well you're adept with people's emotions. Sometimes you don't know how to read another person. In fact, sometimes people sort of give sort of hints to teach you how they feel. Even that, let's face it, if you do give hints, doesn't mean the other person will pick it up because they're too dense or the sort of messaging or hints are just too vague. Like, nobody can actually read your mind. And this is sort of the interesting sort of take that they don't show you the falling out exactly. We show you the after effects of that specific moment because we don't know that basically Potter did something kind of questionable equally to Megan, but we don't know. It's just sort of a speculation, or just Megan being that sort of moody teenager who believes she above this. She believes maybe Potter is just too kiddish-ish nowadays. But honestly, let's face it, everybody have this specific moment back in your childhood, or not even childhood. You could have this moment in your adult wondering, did I did something wrong? And I think this is the reason why Pieces of Potter became so relatable, so understanding, because that kind of thing will mess you up, make you re-question everything you do in life and how you approach another person, another friend, or your cousins or your parents, because sometimes you don't know what you did, and that's the thing, it sort of completely haunts you in your daily lives. And that's reflected so well in this episode 0 because it is pretty good, even that you could basically argue it's a little bit too hammy in a way. I kind of maybe agree with that sort of sentiment, but at the same time, not really. Maybe because I'm Mexican, maybe I was sort of raised too much telenovelas because that's basically our huge entertainment in Mexico. It's just sort of, oh, just more telenovelas kind of vibes. But to be fair, this one is trying not to be telenovela. If you don't know what that is, telenovela is sort of soap opera but mixed up to 11. That really kind of drags it. But I feel this is sort of in kind of the same way, but justified to understand Potter's emotions. But other than that, I did enjoy this. It just sort of answers some questions, but also asks another question that they could do to each single character, introduce sort of the scenario, what happened to their friendship, and the reason how they act and how they act right now in the present. And that's sort of the approach of this show. I'll be open to it because it could be a very interesting psychological sort of kind of viewership of seeing how these people try not to do the same mistakes, even that you don't know if they did that mistakes. That would be very interesting and unique type of show because this is the reason why Pieces of Potter does stand out of the indie scene. It also getting more popular because let's face it, this became more interesting, fascinating, more, I want to say experimental in a way because I only seen this in pieces with other different pieces of media. Usually it's the main story, it's more interesting, not the relationship. If it is the relationship, it's just sort of the main leads and that's it. And to me, this feel could be more bolder, trying to insert yourself each single character and really understand their emotions because let's face it, that is sort of a very unique kind of approach, understanding the emotion, the relationship, if it is that focus, and hoping they do not lose that focus in the next episode because I am excited to see episode what 2, if I'm correct. Let's face it, this kind of naming commission is a little confusing. But all that, what do you think about this episode 0 of Pieces of Potter? Do you enjoy it? Do you hate it? Do you like it? Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.